You know exactly what you want to say. The words are crystal clear in your mind. But the moment you open your mouth to speak English, your brain goes completely blank. Your tongue feels heavy, your thoughts scatter, and you stumble over the simplest words. If this sounds familiar, there's actually a scientific name for what's happening to you. Linguists call it cognitive overload syndrome, and it's hijacking your fluency in ways you never imagined. I'm Dr. Chen, and over the past 15 years, I've helped over 8,000 non-native English speakers break through this exact barrier. What I'm about to share with you isn't just another pronunciation tip or grammar rule. This is neuroscience. This is about rewiring the way your brain processes language under pressure. And by the end of this lesson, you'll understand exactly why your mind betrays you when you need it most. And more importantly, how to stop it from happening. Let me paint a picture that will probably sound painfully familiar. You're in a meeting, or maybe at a coffee shop, or perhaps on a phone call. The conversation is flowing in your native language thoughts, but when you try to express those thoughts in English, something goes terribly wrong. It's like your brain has two separate filing systems, and suddenly, the bridge between them collapses. You start a sentence with confidence, only to trail off into awkward silence. The frustration is overwhelming because you know you're intelligent, you know you understand English perfectly when you're listening, but speaking feels like trying to run underwater. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain during these moments, and why understanding this will change everything for you. When you speak your native language, your brain operates on what neuroscientists call automatic processing. The pathway from thought to speech is like a well-traveled highway, smooth, fast, and effortless. But when you switch to English, your brain shifts into controlled processing mode. Suddenly, that highway becomes a narrow, winding mountain road, where every turn requires conscious attention. Your working memory, which normally handles about 7 pieces of information simultaneously, becomes completely overwhelmed, trying to manage grammar rules, vocabulary choices, pronunciation patterns, and cultural context all at once. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something most English teachers will never tell you. The reason you can understand English perfectly when you're listening is because comprehension and production use completely different neural networks. When you're listening, your brain is in recognition mode. It's matching sounds and patterns to information you already know. It's like being shown a photograph and identifying what's in it. But when you're speaking, your brain is in creation mode. It has to construct meaning from scratch while simultaneously coordinating the physical act of speech. It's like being asked to paint that same photograph from memory while someone is timing you. The cognitive load is exponentially higher. Now, before we dive into the solution, I need to show you something that will completely reframe how you think about your English speaking struggles. Last month, I worked with Maria, a software engineer from Colombia who had been living in the United States for 3 years. She could write flawless English code documentation. She understood every word in technical meetings. But when it came time to present her ideas verbally, she would freeze up completely. Sound familiar? What Maria discovered and what you're about to learn changed everything for her. She went from avoiding presentations to leading them, and it had nothing to do with learning more vocabulary or perfecting her grammar. The breakthrough came when Maria learned about something called cognitive chunking. Instead of trying to process every element of English simultaneously, she learned to group related information into manageable chunks that her brain could handle automatically. Think of it like this. When you're learning to drive, you consciously think about every action. Check mirrors, signal, brake gently, turn wheel. But once you're experienced, all those individual actions become one fluid chunk called making a turn. The same principle applies to English fluency. The goal isn't to think faster, it's to think in bigger, pre-organized chunks, so your working memory isn't constantly overwhelmed. Here's exactly how to apply cognitive chunking to your English speaking, and I want you to try this the next time you find yourself in a conversation. Instead of trying to construct each sentence word by word, start thinking in what I call phrase families. For example, instead of thinking, I need to express disagreement politely, you would have a pre-chunked phrase family ready. I see your point, however. Or, that's an interesting perspective, but. Or, I understand where you're coming from, though. Your brain doesn't have to construct these from scratch because they're already packaged and ready to deploy. This single technique reduced Maria's cognitive load by an estimated 60%. But there's a second layer to this that most people miss, and it's crucial for preventing that blank brain moment from happening in the first place. It's called cognitive rehearsal, and it's based on how professional athletes prepare for high-pressure situations. Just like a basketball player visualizes the perfect free throw before stepping up to the line, you need to mentally rehearse common conversation scenarios before you find yourself in them. This doesn't mean memorizing scripts. That actually makes things worse because real conversations are unpredictable. Instead, you're rehearsing the cognitive pathways, the thinking patterns that will help you navigate any conversation smoothly. You're essentially building mental muscle memory for language processing. Pay close attention to this next part because this is where most people get it completely wrong, and it's the difference between temporary improvement and permanent fluency transformation. The biggest mistake I see is people trying to eliminate their accent or speak perfectly. This actually increases cognitive load exponentially because now you're not just thinking about meaning and grammar, you're also monitoring your pronunciation in real time. Here's what changed everything for Maria and thousands of my other students. She stopped trying to sound like a native speaker and started focusing on being clearly understood. The moment she made this mental shift, her confidence skyrocketed, her cognitive load plummeted, and ironically, her pronunciation improved naturally because she wasn't forcing it. Let me give you one final piece of the puzzle that ties everything together, because without this, the chunking and rehearsal techniques will only take you so far. It's what I call progressive complexity training, and it's based on how your brain naturally learns any complex skill. You wouldn't try to perform surgery after reading one medical textbook, and you shouldn't expect to handle complex English conversations without building up gradually. Start with low-stakes conversations where you can practice your phrase families without pressure. Coffee shop interactions, casual small talk, simple customer service calls. As your chunked responses become automatic in these situations, gradually increase the complexity. Your brain needs time to consolidate these new neural pathways before you can access them under pressure. Remember, cognitive overload syndrome isn't a character flaw or a sign that you're not smart enough for English fluency. It's simply your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do when faced with complex, unfamiliar cognitive demands. The solution isn't to push harder or study more grammar rules. The solution is to work with your brain's natural processing limitations by chunking information, rehearsing pathways, prioritizing clarity over perfection, and building complexity gradually. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be strategic. If this explanation of cognitive overload syndrome helped you understand why your brain goes blank, there's another fascinating aspect of language learning that I think will blow your mind. It's called interference theory, and it explains why sometimes your English actually gets worse when you're tired or stressed, even though you've been studying for years. It's the missing piece that explains why your fluency seems to come and go unpredictably. I'll break down the science and show you exactly how to maintain consistent English performance regardless of your mental state.